Hey, and welcome to episode number 156 of the Brave Widow Show. Today, I'm going to talk to you about why grief work alone isn't enough and what no one has told you about rebuilding your life. Before we dive in, I just want to share a little teaser with you. The Brave Widow Academy will be opening its doors on August 11th. And I'm not going to spill the beans just yet about everything in the Brave Widow Academy. You're going to get to learn about that over the next few weeks, but I'm super excited about it. It's going to be a 6-month program where we meet weekly on Mondays. And I can't wait for you guys to learn more about it and to be able to share that with you. So stay tuned over the next few weeks as I share more about what the Brave Widow Academy is and how you can join in. If you have thought about one-on-one coaching, maybe you've even done a consult, maybe you felt like one-on-one coaching was a little more expensive than you were ready to invest, the Brave Widow Academy is going to be that perfect hybrid of personalized feedback and attention and also group learning and coaching through a dedicated curriculum. And I'm super excited to cover that with you. At the time of this recording, I am getting ready to go to Miami and Key Largo for a trip that's a little bit full circle for me. Two of my Brave Widow coaching graduates are graduating from the same life coaching school that I went to, the Faith-Based Coaching Academy. Their retreat and graduation is happening this week, and I am so excited to be able to go, to be able to see my Brave Widows graduate, to watch them as they're beginning to build their businesses and being able to help serve and support other people out there in the community. It's absolutely amazing. And I just feel so much gratitude for being able to go to this event just 2 years after I graduated and started this journey of being a coach and starting to coach other people. Welcome to the Brave Widow Show, where we help widows find hope, heal their heart, and dream again for the future. I'm your host, Emily Tanner. After losing my husband of 20 years, I didn't know how I could ever experience true joy and excitement again for the future. I eventually learned how to create a life I love, and I've made it my mission to help other widows do the same. Join me in the Brave Widow membership community and get started today. Learn more at bravewidow.com. If you've done the counseling, journaled the pain, and prayed your heart out, but still feel stuck, this episode is for you. Because grief recovery is only half the story, and I'm going to share what no one else is teaching widows about what comes next. Now, many of you have reached this point where after their funeral, the casseroles stop coming. You've gone through therapy or counseling, and maybe it's helped you some. Maybe you didn't go, or maybe it didn't help at all. And the world around you is just moving on. Like somehow it is this impossible feeling of our world has stopped, our life has come to a halt, but everyone and everything is just moving on without us, moving forward, just like we're invisible now and everyone has disappeared. So many widows who find me say things like, I should be doing better now. I'm alive, but I'm not really living. I don't know who I am without my person. I don't know if it's even worth trying to have a life again, or I don't even want to have a life without my person. And here's the thing, grief work is really important. Whether you find a counselor or a therapist, you find a grief coach, you find grief groups, you go to grief share, whatever it is that you participate in that is focused on grief recovery and emotional healing, all of that is fundamental and foundational to being able to have a life that you can love and enjoy again. But the challenge is that grief work helps us survive, it helps us function, but it doesn't show us how to dream, connect, or rebuild our lives. I kept thinking that I was missing something. But what I want you to know is that you're not broken. You're just missing the other half of this healing process. When I was about a year or a year and a half out from Nathan's death, I was so discouraged. I often prayed to God pretty much every day, asking, like, how much longer am I going to feel this way? How long is enough? How much do I have to suffer? God, please rescue my heart from despair. I don't want to live like this anymore. And it wasn't that things hadn't helped me. I went to counseling right away. I bought all the grief books. I listened to podcasts. I talked with hundreds of other widows. I asked them what helped them. But it was all just so vague and obscure. Oh, just give it time, or you just have to keep living your life. You just got to keep living your life. What does that even mean? I was so discouraged because I felt like I'd done everything right, but I still felt empty and aimless on the inside. I still felt like a hollow version of myself, like a shadow living here, just looking at things. After Nathan died, I continued to work in my corporate executive role for another year. It was a very demanding job. We were with a rapidly growing company. My team was rapidly growing, and so were the challenges that we faced. And right or wrong, my work became my priority of making sure that things were working well there while trying to juggle four teenagers and logistics of getting them where they needed to go, making sure they have dinner every night. When Nathan used to take care of those things and trying to feel that I could be everything to everyone at work and everything to everyone at home. And I just had this recurring thought, it's not enough. It's not enough. I can't do both. It's difficult to do both. And so the energy that I expended at work and with my family at the end of the day left me feeling hollow and empty. Like everyone else was taken care of except for me. And I didn't understand. Like I was doing the work. You've heard people say you have to do the work, right? I was literally doing the work and showing up to counseling and learning more about grief and why it was so difficult. And everything I learned, everything I read talked about grief recovery and emotional healing. But then it left me with this big question mark. What do I do now? What am I supposed to do after this whole grief thing? I didn't feel like I was over grief. I still had waves of grief, but I also was confused. I'm like, is this really my life now? Like this 40, 50 more years of this? Really? What I didn't know was that I didn't need help to just feel better. I needed help to rebuild my life. One of the biggest gaps that we have in the grief industry is that we don't teach widows or people how to go from surviving and starting to live their life again into actually loving your life again, into having things that light you up on the inside and give you a sense of purpose and meaning, of recognizing and acknowledging that your old life is over. It's gone. And you get to decide if that means your life is over or if you're going to build something completely new. And even if we were to tell people that, even if we were to convey, that would be so incredibly overwhelming to people. What do you mean I have to rebuild my whole entire life? Like I've already been overwhelmed with grief. I've already been overwhelmed with sorrow and sadness. And now I have to rebuild my entire life. Like that just seems crazy. So the reason Brave Widow even exists, the reason I am bringing up Brave Widow Academy, the reason Brave Widow coaching exists is because it is a solution designed to this gap. Yes, we do a component of grief recovery. I teach the grief recovery method. I've been very open about that. Grief recovery and emotional healing is where I always start. And it doesn't mean that once you're done with grief recovery, that you're done with grief and it's over. But you are now equipped to navigate grief equipped to experience a sense of completeness with things that were left incomplete. So while we do tackle grief recovery and emotional healing, that serves as our foundation, on top of which we then begin building a life that you can love again. So, Brave Widow is about creating an environment where widows are equipped, they're empowered, they are able to grow, to rebuild their confidence, to make real connections with other people, to rebuild relationships, and to rediscover, that was a lot of R's, to rediscover what actually brings them joy. I think we do such a disservice to people at times when we help them with learning more about grief and understanding grief, and then release them out into the world and say, good luck. Good luck with the tools that you have. Because so many widows then step forward having these tools to navigate grief, having a heart that's on its journey to healing. But there's something just still in the back of their mind saying, is this it? Is this what my life is going to be now? And some people are afraid to hope that more out of life is even possible, more joy, the ability to have dreams for the future. That's actually been something that I've learned how to do. I've had to learn how to grow my skill set. I've shared about working with coaches and investing in coaching. And one of my coaches, Megan, she's done a lot of work with me in helping to scale down. I'm a visionary, okay? I see potential in people. I see amazing things that could happen in someone's future. But when your heart is hurting and you're at a point where you don't really care about big dreams at that point, you really just want to wake up and not cry every day. If I say, oh, you could do this and you could do that and you can enjoy life and you can laugh and you can have friends and it would be great, that just feels like impossibly far away. So, one of the things that my coach, Megan, has helped me with is in shortening up what the goals are. So, if you're a widow and today your goal is to wake up every day and stop crying, then that is possible for you. And that's what we focus on and where we start. Or I share how you can rebuild your confidence so that you're not second guessing every single decision that you have to make. Those feel more tangible, those feel more realistic. But that is just the beginning of what is possible for people in rebuilding their lives. And so it's challenging at times because I want to inspire you and I want you to be educated about what is actually possible for your life. But I also recognize that some people aren't ready to see that big future yet. I'm working with a few clients who are actually in the middle or in the beginning stages, rather, of starting a business or starting a social media presence. And because I've walked that path, they like coaching on that area as well and often ask for feedback on what to do to get started. And sometimes I just get excited and I'm like, oh, you could do this and you could do that. And in the future, I could see this. And wouldn't it be amazing if that? And their eyes will get really big. I could just see the anxiety flooding up from the pit of their stomach. And I have to reel myself back in and say, I'm not saying tomorrow that you would have to do all these things. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. We'll take it one step at a time. But I just want you to know that I see it. Like it's there, it's possible, it's waiting for you. And so, what I want you to know, you who are watching or who are listening, is that I can help you see the potential and what's possible for you in your future, which is so much more than you can imagine right now. And that's okay. And we don't have to set that as our first goal, but it gives us hope and inspiration that more is actually possible. And those are the things that I wish widows knew about this journey and about healing. As I've shared with you guys, I've started posting a lot more on TikTok over these past few months. And what I love about TikTok is that people talk, TALK. They talk back to me. They comment, they send me lots of messages. And so I can get a very quick read on what's resonating with people and what isn't. And there are so many times that people are very quick to jump in the comments and say, you make this sound too easy, or you make it seem like you can just get over it and move on, or you just seem like you have it all together. But not all of us are that way. Like they're very quick to jump in on my video and tell me all the reasons why I shouldn't be communicating things the way that I am. It doesn't make me mad. I don't get frustrated. I actually have compassion when people do that because I know that they're at a place where what I'm saying seems impossible. Here's an analogy. In the online business world, if someone were to say, you can start making $1 million a year in your business, so many people would be like, yeah, that's not for me. Like that really, that doesn't even seem true. That seems so impossible. $1 million a year in business? No. These people, snake oil, they're scammers, they're selling fake stuff. That's just too big, too much. Now, if someone says, I can help you build a business that makes 100,000 a year, you're going to have a few more people who buy in and they're like, okay, I don't believe I could build a business in 12 months that makes $1 million a year, but I believe maybe 100,000 a year in 12 months. That seems more doable. I buy into that. But you still have a lot of people that'll be like, no, that's not possible. This person's just trying to sell you. Don't believe them. But then if you back down even more and you say 10,000 in your first year or $1,000 in your first 6 months, the smaller that you make the claim or the dream or the goal, the more realistic it starts to feel and it starts to sound. And so while at times I still am trying to find the best balance in helping people who can't see around the corner. They can't see a future. They don't want to see a future. I help them try to focus on the smaller goals. Okay, that's all right that you can't imagine going out and making new friends. Like that just seems like number one, why would I want to? I'm just not in a good place. And number two, I don't even like talking to people. Okay. Okay, I would see that seems like really far down the path. Let's start with building up your confidence to not second guess every decision that you make, or to help supplement the fact that you've lost your thought partner and your safety net. Let's just start there. That's a good place to start. But I always want to drop in the possibility. And sometimes what I'll say to clients or even potential clients is, I'm just going to plant a seed. And I'll literally go like this. If you're watching on video, you'll see my hand gesture, but I'm like, I'm just going to plant like a little seed. I don't want you to do anything with it. I just want to plant it and I want to let it grow just over the next few weeks, over the next few months. I would just like to give you this little seed. And I've never had anyone say no. They're always like, okay, yeah, what is it? And I'll just drop in like glimmers of possibility, little glimpses of hope for a future that they would love and what could be possible for them. I'm not saying it's going to happen in 30 days. I'm not saying it's going to happen even in 6 months, but I want them to know what's waiting on the other side of the work that they may be doing, the things that they're pursuing, because I don't want them to give up. Getting there isn't always easy. Doing the work isn't always easy. And when I say doing the work this time, beyond doing the grief recovery thing, rebuilding your life is hard. It's just hard. Rebuilding your life isn't always easy. And choosing to think differently than you've thought in the past, to do things differently than you've done in the past, can be really hard. We get to decide if we want to make change and if we want to create something different, believing that on the other side of that change is going to be something great and amazing and worth the effort it takes to actually get there. If we didn't believe that, we wouldn't do it. But we get to decide. And some people may decide that they want to stay in their river of misery. That's okay. They get to decide that too. Life's a little more autopilot. It's a little more easy when you're in the current and you're on this river of misery and you're just like floating down. But typically, you're not going to enjoy life and you're just going to feel that you're still going through the motions. So, over these next few weeks, as I share about Brave Widow Academy, as I share about the opportunity to be part of that, I really want you to pause and consider, what do you want your life to look like in the next few months? And if you're at a point where the next few months seems impossibly far away, think about just the next few weeks. What do you wish was different about that? The thing about it is that you get to decide whether or not you want to rebuild your life and whether or not you want to do that other half of what is really needed from grief recovery. And if you haven't done grief recovery work, perfect. We're starting another group mid-July. Jump on in, you can jump in and move through that program. And what I would encourage you to think about is, if the Brave Widow coaching program or the academy is not the right vehicle for you to get to where you're going to want to be, what is going to get you there? So I would love for you to join Brave Widow. I'd love for you to be a part of that. And I know it isn't the perfect fit for everyone. So if it's not the perfect fit for you, then what is? Because you don't want to be 6 months down the road. Here we're going to be 6 months from now, right at Christmas time. At all the big holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, a flurry of holiday events here in the next few months. And where I don't want you to be in 6 months is where you are today. Whether you're a newer widow and griever and you're struggling, or you've been a widow for years and you're still struggling, or you have started to move forward, but you're still not quite where you want to be. Doesn't matter where you are in the journey. 6 months from now, here at Christmas time, you shouldn't be in the place that you're in today. So what is it going to be for you that takes you to your next level, whatever that is, that helps you to take that exact next step? All right, to be among the first of people who hear all the juicy details about Brave Widow Academy and what is coming up in the near future, you want to be on my email list. Those are the people after my coaching clients and after membership, the community membership folks. The email list is the first place where I go to announce upcoming programs and things that I'll be hosting. So to sign up for my email list, if you haven't already, go to bravewidow.com and you will find a free resources tab, or you can go to bravewidow.com/free, FREE, sign up for the email list, and you will be among one of the first people to hear about when it's going to be open, how long it's going to be for, what you can expect on the inside, and get some feedback from people who have been through the mastermind version of this program. I'm really excited about it. Also, if you are thinking about one-on-one coaching, I only have 2 one-on-one coaching spots left, and then we go to a wait list. And I've got several people on the consult calendar already. I have had, in the last week or so, 8 people schedule their consults. So I am moving through them as my calendar allows. And I would love to be able to have a conversation with you and see if I can outline for you the exact next steps that you could take to move forward in your journey through widowhood and through grief. To schedule your consult call, just go to bravewidow.com. You can find the link to schedule your consult there. All right, guys, that's what I have for you this week. I will see you next week. If you're newly widowed and aren't sure where to start, you need the Brave New Widow Starter Kit. Inside Brave New Widow, you'll find a starter guide to help you through your first few months, a quick start guide you can share with family and friends so they know how to help you, and a collection of some of the frequent topics that widows want to learn more about. To get the Brave New Widow series, just go to bravewidow.com/start. It's free and you'll get instant access. That's bravewidow.com/start, START. See you there.